Not really much of a preamble. I don't think. I don't think I have anything that I want to say before I jump into streaming. No. Just thank you for joining me. And then for anyone who may be watching on the replay, whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, we do this every Tuesday, 4 p.m. PT, 7 p.m. ET. We are going on a brief hiatus just because I would like to spend time with my friend. So every stream slash podcast between the dates of the 24th to the 31st is canceled. Still getting a podcast on the 23rd. That's still a thing. There will be an episode coming out on Saturday. But there will be no episode coming out on the 30th. The Sunday Scaries that were scheduled for 24th and the 31st are going to be moved to the first half of November, or the first 2 Sundays of November. Our Life is Strange stream on the 25th. It's just not going to happen. We'll pick it up on the 1st. Same thing with our Romance Club stream on the 26th. We're just going to pick it up on the 2nd. So just want to be very clear about that. And I think after Sunday Scaries are done is when I'll pick up Wolf Bride. Okay. Glad that I just mentally worked that out on stream when no one asked me to. But just want to give everyone a heads up. I'm not playing the Heart of Trespia. Definitely playing Chasing You. So what happened last time we left off? We came to our aunt's mansion to celebrate her birthday. She made a big scene about her, I don't know what they're called, someone that she hires to make her wills for her. And they couldn't come. So she wanted to change. Yep, thank you, Ari. Almost hit Alexander with a car before we even knew who he was. Thank God we got out the car and stopped. We did hit Alexander with a car. We stopped the car, thankfully, because it turns out Alexander is going to be staying with us, I suppose. Our aunt's will was never finalized. She gets murdered, I presume. I'm assuming it was homicide. We haven't done an investigation yet. And at the very end of the chapter, because we discovered her body, the maid thinks that we were the ones who killed her. So, I think... Hold on, I'm just looking at the image that I have up on the screen. Wow, I really said episode 1 and we're streaming episode 2. That's embarrassing. I thought I put episode 2. Fishy, how dare you not catch that error on my image? This is what I pay you for. You didn't catch the fact that I wrote episode 1. We're streaming that today. That's a lie. We're streaming episode 2 today. That's embarrassing. But you know what? I'm leaving it up there. I'm definitely leaving it up there. Fishy said that maid is on my shit list. Wow, Fishy, I'm so insulted. My proofreader did not check my post. And you know what? I am not changing it now. It's too late. It's up everywhere. It's up everywhere. So let's just jump into just put a big clip art 2 over it. It's too much work. I don't want to do that. I can't be trusted anymore. I had the wrong time on my own graphic for 4 weeks. Yeah, I really had my shit together for a decent amount of time there. I really did. I had it together, and then today just isn't my day. It's fine. It's fine. Let's just jump in. Oh, I think this chapter summary said, oh, that's incredibly loud in my ear. Holy crap. Let's lower this volume a little bit. Eric said I just checked the times and that was it. That's fine. I normally don't fuck up on the episodes that I'm covering anyways, but for some reason that happened to be the thing that I fucked up on this time. The chapter summary says something along the lines of they say that you killed your auntie, but you're not one to just give up and accept your fate or something like that. She said we're all really just here out of a sense of obligation at this point. That's fair. Same. Okay, chapter 2 is titled The Day Everything Went Wrong. I hate these scene pans. The situation in the living room was getting heavier by the minute. Most of it was likely due to Martha's wailing. Yeah, so Martha the maid has fucked us over by saying that we had to be the one who killed her, and that has already just fucked us up. so badly. Thank you, Kat, for lurking. Appreciate you being here. It was either that or the gaze of the detective leaning over you. Okay, so the cop's already here. Goodman. Detective Goodman. You were far too calm for someone who just lost their beloved auntie. You hiccuped in response and immediately covered your mouth with your hand. Eliza nervously grabbed your hand, pitifully looking at Goodman's assistant, who was sitting in the corner of the room with a notepad in hand. He looks very familiar, but I think that's just because I've seen a lot of, like, screenshots of him. Goodman's assistant. His face looks very familiar. Ah, Dante. So the authorities now allow you to put pressure on the witnesses? Isn't that, like, what they do? Isn't that, like, what a detective does? He emphasized the last word and squinted angrily as he was about to get up from his chair. I'm still in my nightie. Ooh, I don't think I should be sitting in a living room like this. I think we should have some time to get decent. Dante, you can either say Dante, it's alright. Not Dante. Dante, it's alright. It's right. Why are you trying to scare me? I'm gonna say it's alright and just be like, everything's cool, bro. It's fine. The detective is simply doing his job. I'm ready to answer any questions you may have. Raising your eyes to the detective's face, you caught a glimpse of respect in the eyes of his assistant. Ari said, you gotta look hot for the Close family, Alexander and the cops. Apparently, I don't know. I don't want any spoilers, but I do feel like I've seen the Goodman's assistant, like, sprite in screenshots of, like, a character that is supposed to be, I don't know, more important than just a background character. RC needs to give more support to her in that 90s. She's got tiggle bitties and she needs support. Well, I don't know. It just seems that based off of every romance club MC has, like, the biggest tits I've ever seen. Unnaturally perky, and they just apparently levitate in the air by themselves, which is fine. I mean, it's fiction, but if we want our tits to do that, then that's what the tits are going to do. They have a mind of their own at this point. Okay, he smiles at us. Nice. He looks like that guy from the car scene in Heaven's Secret. I think that's where I'm getting these flashbacks from. The detective pondered for a bit and took a few steps back, changing his tone. Miss Harris is right. I'm simply doing my job. We'll need to question all of you. This one is canonically a DD, a double D. I discovered this, that they kept her from pursuing sports. Fishy found that frequently asked questions... Ooh. Fishy found frequently asked questions that readers asked about the boobs because that's what we all wanted to know about the MC. And then Fishy apologized for correcting it, not double D, just a D cup. Who asked this? And, like, Romance Club answered this? This gives me the very same, I don't know if any of you, like, follow, like, Halsey or anything on Twitter, but, like, she made a post that, like, asking about her tits or something, because, like, she was pregnant, gave birth, breastfeeding, all of the body changes that come with, like, that, you know, sequence of events. And I guess because her tits have gotten bigger over the course of, you know, those three things happening, made a tweet about her tits because everyone just kept commenting about them. And so she was like, fuck it, I'll just go ahead and answer some very common questions about my tits. So give me the same energy. Everyone grabs a handful of them, they must be fantastic. Yeah, I remember that from the last stream. Is now really the time for this? We just lost a member of the family, you know. Well, it is within the first 48 hours, so I'm not... Again, I don't really think they're being assholes. The detective turned to face your uncle and noted, which one of you killed her, then, in your opinion? The temperature in the living room instantly dropped by a few degrees. Eliza gasped, covering her mouth with her palm, and Frederick grimaced. But it was an accident. How do we know? That may or may not become clear once we thoroughly inspect everything and everyone. Well, Dante, did Dante actually make a comment about the titties last stream? Because this seemed like it was like Eliza, then the aunt made some question about his, like both the aunt and the uncle were like, oh, you really grew up. But I think Eliza was the only character who outwardly like oogled at Agatha and said like, your tits look a big, girl. Eliza and Dante both grabbed. Why do I not remember that? I don't remember Dante fondling me. Fishy said Auntie dies. Let's talk about Agatha's tits. Well, it's obviously the more pressing issue here. The first like 10 minutes of the stream is just tits talk. He turned back to you. I would like to start my interrogation with you, Miss Harris. With me? Well, I suppose. I made a mess in that room, yes. The detective slowly nodded and looked at the sobbing Martha. Which room can we use? I will take you there. There's an office on the first floor. Detective, can I get changed first? Yes, please. You pointed at your blood-stained clothes. Yes, of course, Miss Harris. I will wait for you here. Yeah, go ahead and throw away potential evidence. That's fine. Dante dragged you into the bushes after covering your mouth and grabbing your boobs. I'm gonna... Why do I not remember that? It's like everyone recalls it but me. Ari said that's the new name for the podcast. It's gonna be called Tit Talk. Oh boy. I don't know if that'll go past like the the algorithm for Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but we'll see if we can get it approved. Eric said V blocked out the memories. Yeah, apparently it was so traumatic that I just made myself forget. I blacked out. Martha said, follow me, please. Can't wait for Luke's to talk on Tit Talk. Everyone likes tits, man. We're all a big fan of tits. I love that I can buy a diamond scene or a diamond outfit to get interrogated in. Holy shit, that's a nice fucking dress. Okay, sure. Let's do that. Stepping foot in the room, you were unable to breathe for a moment. The air was heavy with the smell of Aunt Annette's perfume. Your knees immediately grew weak and you were forced to grab onto the door frame to keep your balance. Auntie wouldn't approve of all this. Well, she's not here. She's dead. You were barely able to contain a hysterical giggle, but regained your composure quickly. Fishy said those premium clothes seem way too elaborate for a quick change of clothes. I think it's strange that for someone who could potentially be the main suspect of a murder case, they just like let her go into a room by herself. Like I would be like, okay, you can go change, but someone needs to go in the room with you. Or someone, you know, someone here, maybe like one of her family members needs to go into the room with her. And then also we need your clothes because that, like anything that has like bodily fluids on it would be like evidence, right? Like there's some, I'm not a detective, all right, but I've seen a few 48 hours. I've seen a few episodes. That's just the way I would assume things go. This isn't the time for hysterics. I can have my cry later. And that's why she was Aunt Annette's favorite. Had her shit together. The detective watched attentively as you took a seat in one of the chairs. After a moment of hesitation, he sat down on the couch beside his silent assistant. Does RC show any female cops in any of the books? Not that I can recall. Annette's chair remained empty, and when you turned around, you immediately got goosebumps. So, Agatha, let's start at the very beginning. When did you arrive here? Yesterday morning at about 10, I believe. Eric said the scene was better in Knives Out. Who here has seen Knives Out? I'm a huge fan of Knives Out, and I'm very glad they're making a sequel. Did you see or hear anything out of the ordinary? Should I be telling him everything? What if it makes him suspect one of my relatives? I mean, I don't believe any of them could do it, I just can't. It's not your... That's something of her concern, to be honest. It was all just an accident. She tripped and hit her head. And this jerk is going to start suspecting everyone left and right. Goodman asked, who do you think did it? You involuntarily clenched your fist. Something out of the ordinary. I don't remember anything in particular. I was startled by something. Like Dante? Like, what startled us? Or like someone watching us? Nah, I think definitely someone was murdered her. Let's say I was startled by something. You told the detective what happened in the parking lot. It might seem silly, but I saw someone staring at me through the window and got scared. Who did you see? I don't know. I was unable to make out who it was. A servant from the house came sneaking up from behind and distracted me. The redhead? Why would she sneak up on you? Yes, Martha. I chose the wrong word. She was just very quiet and startled me. Alright, so you went inside. Did anything catch your attention? There was some commotion in her office. You told the detective about the argument overheard. Where exactly? Right here. There was an argument between Auntie and some guy. You didn't recognize him? No. What were they talking about? He was saying something about humiliation, to which she responded with, "You brought this upon yourself," or something like that. I left almost immediately. I see. What happened next? I'm definitely a snitch, bro. Like, I will not sit here and lie about anything. Like, that's just not gonna happen. I will not be going to jail tonight. Agatha says, well, we gathered in the living room. I left to help Martha. You were helping the servants? Why? Becky didn't come into work, and Martha is her superior. She was supposed to tell Auntie immediately that Becky was absent. But she decided not to tell Auntie right away. She finally told her about it when we were all gathered in the living room. She probably thought that Auntie wouldn't scold her in front of the others, but she was wrong. Aunt Annette wasn't feeling shy. I defended Martha. I have a rule in this house. Don't be afraid to get your hands... Or we have a rule in this house. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and always take responsibility for your words. And you got angry with Miss Harris? He leaned in, intertwining his fingers. I mean... Ooh, I don't know what the right answer is. Ooh, I don't know what the right answer is. Sorry, can someone remind me, is Miss Harris the maid? Or is that Aunt Annette? I don't know who this is. Cause like, I'm gonna assume it's your Miss Harris. I said, did you get angry with Miss Harris? So I'm gonna assume it's Aunt. I'm gonna say, yeah, I was mad. So mad you wanted to pay her back for it, maybe? Maybe you pushed her? Maybe her head hit the side of the table? Maybe you didn't mean to do it, but maybe it was too late and you already didn't know what to do. That's what he's getting at. What are you implying? Come on, Agatha. What makes you think that I'm implying anything at all? Alright, come on now. What else would you call this? Did you know that according to a recent study, the leading cause for up to 90% of crimes is money? Namaste, quiet. You gracefully kept your silence, waiting for him to continue. And you, a poor, young beauty, taken in by your aunt after the tragic death of your parents. Oh shit. Let me guess. You're the sole heir. Or does 90% of the wealth go to you and the rest towards charity? You turned red from head to toe, barely containing your anger. I don't even know the contents of my will. That's true. We don't know. Yeah. I don't even know. No one does except her and her notary, and the two of us didn't have the kind of relationship too. You're out of your mind, detective. So you're saying you loved her? That's exactly what I'm saying. The detective looked at you in silence for a bit, and then suddenly changed the subject. Where were you between midnight and, I guess, 2:40 a.m.? In my room, sleeping. Can someone confirm that? You can interrogate my pillow. I'm sure it can confirm it for me. In other words, you have a motive and no alibi. Curious. You gasped out of anger, disgust, and fear. The detective emotionlessly observed your reaction. Well, thank you for your time, Miss Harris. You are free to go, for now. Would you be so kind as to call in Mr. Charles? And don't leave town until this investigation is over. You quickly got up and confidently walked out of the room. Well, that was tense. That was tense. If Annette could see you right now, she'd be proud. Beyond the door, Eliza, I like that it went from like this really tense, like investigative music to this like very like boppy, easygoing music in the living room, as if just by leaving the office, everything is fine. Beyond the door, Eliza and Charles were waiting for you. Are you all right? What did they ask you? What happened and what did I do last night? I'm sorry, Uncle. I'm exhausted. The detective asked for you to come in next. Charles hesitated a bit before going in. Eliza embraced you and pressed her cheek against your shoulder. How about we go for a cup of tea in the garden? You headed for the exit. Huh? Stick close to her, gently push her hand away. She's supposed to be an ally. Is this like an ally choice, or is it just like how close can I get to my cousin? What is this? Why does it matter? She's my cousin, right? Like I have a seemingly fond relationship. It is kind of an ally choice. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, no. I was just gonna be nice and stick close to her because she's my cousin. Oh no. I thought so at first, but it's more like a family relationship. Okay, I'm like I'm getting very confused because there's two people who says it's kind of an ally choice, and then it's beneficial to be close. Okay, cool. We'll be close. Supported by her. You left the room. Something is happening between you and Eliza. No, nothing is happening. You get close by grabbing body parts. Nobody tried to stop the two of you. Well, who would stop us? When Eliza went to the kitchen to prepare the tea, you sat on the grass and looked at the sky. What lovely weather, as if nothing happened, as if everything is just fine. You shook your head, fighting off the wave of sadness. Always remember what she told you. The dead don't need your tears. That's kind of harsh, man. You sat, running your finger through the grass and sighed. Auntie, but what if I do need the tears? By the time Eliza returned with 2 hot cups of tea, you had managed to calm down. At least externally. What are you sitting on the ground for? You'll get yourself dirty. You said something dismissive as you held both cups, forcing her to join you on the grass. For a while, the two of you sat in complete silence. Then Eliza sighed. When you found her, was she still alive? Looking down at your cup, you shook your head, and suddenly tears burst from your eyes. You watched them seep through your hands and onto the ground below. You couldn't hold them back. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have... She took your cup and started wiping away the tears as if it could stop their flow. She then hugged you tightly, continuously apologizing. What to do? Hug her, gently push her away, or just push her away. Why do I have to spend diamonds to be consoled, or like during my grief? I have to spend diamonds to like have someone support me through this like family death? What a... Oh, therapy is expensive and all feelings are transactional. I mean, I guess whatever, I'll hug her. It's only 12 diamonds, whatever. Oh, you nuzzled against her neck. Okay. Her fingers gently combed through your hair and her soft voice whispered calmly. She didn't rush you and you were thankful that nobody was around. You had been fighting these emotions back ever since you discovered your aunt and you finally had the chance to let them all out. You sat like that for a while under the gentle rays of the spring sun. Eventually all the tension seemed to ease up a bit. Eliza pulled away and gently kissed both of your cheeks. You lowered your eyes and looked at her lips, now covered with your tears. I'm sorry, Agatha. I shouldn't have asked. Eric said at least there's no hearts. You shook your head and reached for your cup. It's okay. I needed this. You turned your cup around in your hands and then slowly breathed in the aroma and took a sip. Eliza, did you happen to hear anything? Knocking, screaming, anything at all? She turned a few shades more pale and grabbed her cup. Me? No, I didn't hear anything. I was just asleep. Now that is a strange answer. What about in the evening? Was there anything out of the ordinary? I missed the dinner entirely. Eliza shook her head, getting even paler, and finished a still hot tea in one gulp. Absolutely nothing. Agatha, what time is it? Let me check, damn it. I left my phone. I left it in that room. They'll probably have to keep it as evidence. What? No, there's shit. What if I get a message for my new job? No. I need to get my phone back. I can't. I know I brought it with me from my room. It can't be evidence. It's just my phone. I need to go get it. But you can't go in there. The door is sealed. You're going to leave more traces. I'm gonna be careful. I'm gonna get my phone. Don't worry about me. Just don't tell anyone I'm going back in there. Eliza nodded and bit her lip as she watched you go. I'm gonna get my phone. That may have been a bad choice, but I am gonna go get my phone. First, you had to go around the house without being seen from either the living room or the office. Okay, the third step creaked. You silently went up to the second floor. There's no one here. Everyone must be downstairs waiting for their turn to be interrogated. While looking around, you approached the door. Damn, it really is sealed. I'll have to find another way in. Is there another way in? You sadly scratched at the edge of the tape, when suddenly you were grabbed by the wrist. What the? Oh. Alex, my boy. You shouldn't go around tearing up official police investigation tape. What are you doing here? What about you? I was going to the bathroom. Ari said him. There are bathrooms on the first floor, too. Yeah, by the stairs. The same stairs I watched you heading up just now. I just got curious as to why you were coming up here. My room is also on this floor. I could have been on my way there. He shifted his gaze to the scratched off piece of tape. I have some business here. It must be terribly important. What would Detective Goodman think if he saw you scratching the seal tape off? Probably something along the lines of the killer always returned to the scene of the crime. Or even, she came back here to hide a piece of evidence. The killer? You don't mean to say that you suspect me? I have my doubts. You did both have motive and the opportunity. The actions after the accident made a good impression on Alexander. Okay, cool. But most importantly, the detective seems to suspect you. Auntie's death is an accident. The detective is wasting his time. He has suddenly leaned towards you with a vicious glint in his eyes. And what if he isn't? What if someone from your family or one of the servants did kill her? Because she said that is a ridiculous amount of caution tape. A waste of resources. Eric said it's like bad Halloween directions, and then Eric said Alex is annoying. Oh, Ari said that's why I was so nervous about you driving away. Yeah, no, I was not going to drive away, but it is always better to have everyone, you know, have a good impression of you in these games, so unless I absolutely fucking hate them, I will try my best to keep them on my side. I don't know. It's impossible or could have been you. I don't want to insult him, so I'll just say that's impossible. He chuckled while looking at you with a hint of pity. You felt the urge to wring his neck. Oh, maybe I am the murderer. You know why the step downstairs creaked beneath someone's foot. Shh! Looking from side to side, he measured up the situation and suddenly pushed you. You didn't expect that, and stumbled backward into an enclave completely concealed by curtains. Well, that's nice that he did that for me. A second later, he appeared before you and pressed his chest against you. Ooh. Hello. What the hell are you doing? Shush, you idiot! He listened closely and sighed. Now look what you've done. He's coming here. Suddenly grabbing you by the wrist, he put the other one on your waist. Kiss me. Oh, we're doing this. What? Do it, damn you. Not waiting around for objections, he leaned in and forcefully kissed you. My favorite type of kiss. What to do? I don't know, give in. You were unable to breathe for a bit, and then you relaxed and gave in. Your relationship with Alex has improved. Your hands, which a mere second ago were pushing him away, now tightly wrapped around his shoulders. You parted your lips and your tongue slid in between his. This is getting a lot more passionate than I thought it was going to be. Alexander did not expect that kind of reaction. His body tensed up, and for a brief moment you thought he was going to pull back. He pressed even harder against you, and the kiss immediately became more hot and greedy. The curtain behind you suddenly opened, revealing the face of Goodman's assistant. Oh, my apologies. I didn't expect... Alexander waited for exactly 2 seconds before turning back to you. I'm sorry. Samuel. Makoto Samuel. That's the same guy from Heaven's... It is. That's the same guy from the car scene in Heaven's Secret. Okay. Alexander Nielsen, at your service. Samuel, do you mind? He slowly looked at both of you. Of course, but I must ask you not to use this corridor so... intensively. We wouldn't want to lose any evidence should there be any around here. Alexander smiled and obediently nodded. He wouldn't do anything to hinder the investigation. We'll be going then. But Ari said, also making fun of Alexander is sometimes a good idea. Okay, good to know. Ari said, nothing gets Agatha going like family death. Yeah, I understand why they did it, because obviously they're standing right in front of the cautioned off door tape, but I don't think it necessarily leaves a good impression either if she's just like fucking making out right in front of everybody. RC doesn't waste any time with the romance. Nope. Chapter 2, well, honestly, even in Chapter 1, I don't know, I'm still kind of confused what's going on with my cousin, dude. Like, are we supposed to want to fuck her? Is that, like... I don't know what RC's intention is, and, like, given their history with, like, family relationships, that kind of makes me a little bit nervous. Sam says, Alexander, I hope you won't forget to come for a chat with a detective. I wouldn't miss it for the world. It is my duty as a civilian, after all. He then proceeded to extend his hand to you, and the two of you ran off. You tried to close the door on him, but Alexander managed to block it with his foot. You quickly gave up on that idea and retreated further into the room. What was that back there? I mean, obviously. I saved you from a rather unpleasant talk with dear old Sammy. You should be grateful. You gave him the heaviest stare you could muster, but he remained unfazed. Thanks. Now get the hell out. Why do you need to get into that room? Because I left something in there yesterday. Can you be more specific? It's my phone. I need it. It's hardly evidence. I had it with me when I discovered Auntie. He squinted as he looked you over. A real killer would be able to come up with more plausible excuses. Well, I'm not a killer, so there you go. Maybe. How can you prove it? What happened to presumption of innocence? That's not gonna cut it. You were the first one on the scene. Your prints are all over the place and your clothes were stained with blood. You were the most likely heiress, and she was about to change the will, and the two of you argued. I mean, these are all facts. And finally, I caught you trying to break into a sealed room. I must say, it doesn't look good for you. His breakdown of the situation deflated you entirely, and you sat down on the bed. But I didn't kill her. What on earth? He squinted as he crossed his arms and leaned against the wall. Tell you what. You say you just want to get your phone from there? I will come with you and ensure there is no funny business. In return, you will be my eyes and ears. You will inspect the room under my guidance. Deal? Yeah, why do you need this? That's such a weird... It's very specific. He pondered whether he should answer or not. Why do you think? I think... These are some of the most difficult choices I have encountered in Romance Club ever. Because it's just like, I just truly don't know what these are insinuating. That you're genuinely helping me, or that you're the culprit. I don't think that he's the murderer. That doesn't seem like casual making fun of somebody. That just seems like you're accusing them of murder. So, like, I don't know. Eric said, I feel like it was the intention of the writers, but just as a soft ally and not a long-term one, some of the scenes with a cousin walk the line. And then Fishy said, the wiki says they're casual allies as opposed to endgame allies. That's... okay. Cool. Good to know that we can just casually love our cousin, and it's fine. I don't like... Ari just says Bont. um... I don't know. I'll just say that he's genuinely helping me. I'm a little afraid of the culprit. He exhaled sarcastically. Oh, you have a beautiful eyes and a nice ass, but that's hardly enough for me to start worrying about you. Holy shit. Or do you think I fell in love with you at first sight like some two-dimensional video game character? Well, I hate to break it to you, buddy. That's much more accurate than you think it is. And now I want nothing more than to rescue you from every bad situation. You angrily growled at him. I want to find the killer myself. What? That's comical. What? He immediately flushed red. I want to beat this Goodman to it and find out what happened in that room on my own. And if you're not the killer, then that's more reason for us to join forces. He thought a bit before adding. Although, if you are the killer, this might be useful for you. Keep your enemies close and all that. You stared at him for a few seconds straight, then started laughing. That's just silly. Perhaps, but you do need your phone, so partners? He extended his hand to you. I don't quite understand his motivations, but yeah, we'll say partners. You shook on it. His hand was firm, dry, and confident. Yeah, I don't like wet hands. This is good. A pleasant handshake. So, how can we get inside without using the door? Well, the window. That's going to be our last resort, since there are going to be extra traces left and the police are sure to find them. Which in turn will add on to your pile of problems. This is a very old house. When was it built? 19th century, if not earlier. There used to be a castle here. It was partly destroyed and reconstructed as a house. A castle? Perfect. I'm sure there are secret ways around here. Your aunt must have known about them. Well, I think... one time it was weird. You desperately try to cling to a fleeting memory. Yes, once I met with her exiting the northern room, when just minutes I saw her prior in her own bedroom. Good start. Who occupies that room now? Dante. I saw him leaving it last night. Then we're gonna need a key. Who has one? Well, Martha has a copy, or Dante does. Can we get it from her? We could, then she'd have a billion questions about why. Martha's quite the gossip. Okay, she'll be our last resort. Dante, then? Seduce your cousin? Is this the time where we get him to undress and we slip our slippy little hands in his pocket and take his keys? So it would seem. You pondered for a while. Alexander looking at you was very distracting. But we can't just walk up to him and politely ask for his key. Agatha, are you a woman or what? Don't you know how to get something from a man? He is my cousin! Ari said, hey, bestie, this is gonna be rough. Oh no! You sharply exhaled, stood up, and started pushing him out the corridor. Oh no! I do not want to fuck this man! Alright, I'll get it. Just don't get in my way, and I'll get out of my room. Cousin, you grabbed your boobs. Oh no! I don't want to do this. Before going back to the living room, you ruffled your hair and added a hint of blue eyeshadow, you know. Wink, wink, all the boys love a little blue on the eyes. And ruffled hair. Your appearance caused everyone to freeze up and stop talking. Uncle Charles got up, his face filled with compassion, tightly hugged you. My poor girl, that bastard completely drained you, didn't he? You look so upset. Fishty, please don't. I cannot, emotionally. There's too many things going on, and I can't recall that memory. I just can't. I can't handle this right now. That has to be the biggest mental breakdown I've had live on stream so far, and I just want to remember it. It's too much. It's too many bad memories happening. Don't worry, we don't believe him and he can't prove anything. What are you talking about? This Goodman thinks that Agatha is involved with the tragedy, but it just can't be. He cradled you like a small child while everyone else in the room was looking at you. Out of the corner of your eye, you saw Alexander smirk as he snuck into the room. Somewhere deep inside you, anger started to boil. Uncle? Okay. There's a couple ways I could play this. I could say everything was alright and maybe get some... like, mate... Oh no. Okay, sorry, I like ran into some technical issues on my end, but that's fine. I could play this like calmly and say everything is alright to get some authority points, or say I'm just in so much pain, and maybe that could help me gain some sympathy with the men in the room, or just anybody, regardless of gender, and maybe that can help me with Dante? I need to get this key. Everything is alright, I am just in so much pain. Alright, I'm just in so much pain. You pressed your face against his chest and sobbed as loudly as you could. The room immediately got awkward. You thought you could hear a mental facepalm. Oh no. Alexander, stop thinking so loud. You pulled back from Charles and still sobbing asked Dante. Dante, please, can you come with me? I need your help for a minute. He nodded, stood up, and followed you out of the room. Yes, yes. That's what I was going for. I come back and all I see is stuff about kissing cousins. Yeah, the chat has just evolved into like a little family loving chat, apparently. In the kitchen, you desperately looked around. Now, what did I need his help with? What can I do for you? The tea, over there on the top shelf, I couldn't reach. You could have just used a chair? You covered your mouth with one hand and giggled. Hi, KT, how are you? We are flirting with our cousin, KT, just to summarize that. Yeah, and we need to get a key. Ari said it's only gonna get worse, Cat. The chair, right. I didn't think about it. You swallowed, turned towards the window, and took a couple of deep breaths as if trying to calm down. Agatha, this is harder on you than all of us combined. He approached you and somewhat awkwardly placed his hand on your shoulder. You immediately turned around and pressed yourself against his chest. Your shoulders were quivering. He hugged you, carefully at first, then pulling you closer in. KT said I'm doing good, and huh? It's gonna be okay. I promise. Hush. Don't cry. I have to find the keys in the back pockets or the front. Where to check? Oh, fuck, there's 4 different options. We'll do front pockets first. Okay. If I was Dante, which front pocket would I put it in? Is he right-handed? Right front pocket. You leaned forward a bit and felt the front pocket of his jeans. There it is. Agatha says, there it is, big and thick, just like all the keys around here. What keys are big and thick? There you go, big and thick, so we were looking for. Looking up, you were met with Dante's confused gaze. Now I have to get it out of there somehow. You sniffled a couple of times and nuzzled against his chest. Using that as a distraction, you carefully stuck your fingers into the pocket. Deeper. Agatha, what are you doing? To your horror, you suddenly felt the zipper around the fabric start to tighten. Oh, it's gonna be even harder. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Screw it all, but I need that key. You grabbed him by the collar and pulled him in for a kiss. He moaned as you infiltrated your mouth with his tongue. Your relationship with Dante has changed drastically. Your hand daringly went deeper into his pocket and stroked the bulge. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I didn't know that we were gonna do all that. I thought we were just gonna distract the man. Dante moaned again, and this time taking a step forward and pressing you against the shelves. Ari said, to be fair, it is technically the right choice, but at what cost? His hands started greedily caressing your back. Oh my god. This is a disaster. 2 times in one day I had to kiss someone against my will. And Dante, of all people, he's my cousin. Well, we're not related by blood, but still. You quietly mumbled something encouraging him, and you carefully fished the key out of his pocket. Oh, that's what she meant by big and thick. It's one of those room keys. Katie said this book is wild. I love it. A few more seconds spent kissing as you desperately tried to put it into your own pocket, until finally your lips separated and you were left looking at him desperately and wildly. I'm sorry, Dante. With a sharp exhale, you pushed him away and quickly left the kitchen. Agatha, wait! Yeah, we gotta run. Congratulations, you managed to get Dante's key, but you weren't listening as you dashed out into the corridor. I hated that, every second of that. Reaching the hall, you stood still for a few seconds thinking about your next move. Alexander said, did you get it? Startled, you turned around and hissed in his face. Are you sneaking up on me on purpose? Trying to give me a heart attack? Of course not. You're just so oblivious to what's happening around you. With a grim expression, you took the key out and waved it in front of Alexander's face. Great. You're not as useless as I thought. You angrily went upstairs to the northern room. Okay, yeah, this is... Oof. When you reached it, Alexander cautiously looked around as you opened the door. So, if you were a secret passageway, where would you hide? Somewhere along the wall? Or on the floor? Let's split up our efforts. What do you want to start with? I'll check out, I don't know, let's say the shelves? Alright, I'll cover the floor. 10 minutes of poking around the shelves and no result. Apart from this pink t-shirt. Really? Dante? Pink? Boys don't wear pink. I mean, come on. Who gives a fuck what color shirt he wears? Oh, the mode I was talking about apparently just not going full screen, so forget that. Okay, gotcha. Nothing here. There's nothing here on the floor either. We have to keep looking. We don't know how much time we have left. Maybe there's no passageway here after all. That's why we have to move quickly. He shrugged and proceeded to go along the walls, his fingers thoroughly inspecting the panels. Hold on, what's this? Oh, we should have just looked at the walls. Okay. His fingers pushed a small figure of an angel into the wall. It sank into the wall. Alexander turned back to you with a triumphant smile on his face. Oh, no. 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 No, no, no. No. I don't like it when men call themselves daddy. It really grosses me out. Like, it's actually a big turnoff of mine. And Alex, you are not winning yourself any freaking brownie points by saying shit like this. Like, not at all. You see what happens if you just listen to Daddy Alex? You barely contained yourself from smacking him. Same. Yeah, it would have been my same reaction. Open it already. Completely in the wall by this point, the figure rotated and the panel slid to the side. The passageway that opened up was narrow and the air inside was stale. We have to go in there, right? He glanced at you and rolled his eyes, then he took you by the hand. Don't be afraid, I'm here with you. What to do? Get your hand back from her, just follow him. I don't give a fuck. Disturbingly calm, he stepped into the passageway, and our relationship with him improved. You, suddenly timid and without looking up, followed him. When inside, he flipped a lever and the panel closed behind you. How is this panel lit? When the panel on the other side was open, you were finally able to breathe properly. Dark and closed spaces are not for me. You stepped into the room and immediately became nauseous from the smell of fresh blood. Keep it together, Agatha. You'd have to get your phone and get back out. You force yourself to look around. The phone was on the far side of the table. Be careful. You can still leave unnecessary traces. He didn't leave the passageway. You nodded and climbed on the bed to avoid stepping into a puddle of blood on the floor and reached for your phone. Great, you got what you came for. Now, let's take a look around. I'd really just rather leave. What for? Because I'm curious about the culprit. Aren't you? It was an accident. Someone coughed beyond the door. The two of you immediately froze up. What seemed like an eternity later, the door further down the corridor slammed and everything once again grew silent. You exhaled and just now realized how shaky your hands were. Alright, I'll have a look around, just so you can finally shut up. You're doing me a great service. He mockingly bowed. Alright, just take a look around the room. If I were the killer, what path would I take? What would I do? You slowly turn around, absorbing the information about the room. Late night, I come through the door, close it, go to the center of the room. I'm talking to Auntie while sitting at the table. She always spoke to her visitors from her spot at the table. Unless it was someone close, in that case, she would stay in bed. What to inspect? Say the bed. KT said daddy kinks are weird. I'm not here to kink shame anybody, but it's not my thing. No. You turned around and took a few careful steps towards it, running your fingers across. You checked underneath, carefully moving along the perimeter of the bed. Nothing. It seems like she didn't trust her bed with anything important. What about the shelves or the table? The table. Without moving, you looked at the table. A few trinkets, a lamp, nothing incriminating, no notes or any other piece of paper. You tried opening the drawers. Locked. Any idea where she kept the key? You slowly shook your head. If I were a key, I would be... You lifted a bronze statuette from the table and checked its underside. Found it. You unlocked the top drawer and were surprised at what you found. What's in there? It was empty, save for one thing. You slowly picked it up. Once again, going around the puddle of blood, you approached him and showed what you found. Okay, a dried onion, sure. What is this? It's an onion? Dried onion? Why would your aunt... Suddenly there were footsteps outside the door and a muffled voice was heard. Good on you for sealing the door so thoroughly, but now it'll take us ages to get all of this off. I swear sometimes. Damn, looks like the interrogation is over. We have to get out of here quick. In one smooth motion, he pulled you into the passageway and flipped the lever on the other side. The panel silently slid shut behind you. That's interesting. I'm going to make the hypothesis that whoever Auntie's killer was, I definitely think she was murdered, used the same passageway. So it must have been someone who knew the house intimately. You quickly but silently made your way back to your cousin's room. Whew, that was close. You shoved Alexander back into the passageway and closed the panel behind him. That left you barely enough time to fold your hands on your lap before the bedroom door opened up. Dummy, you could have at least closed it behind you. Oh, Agatha, what are you? Oh no! Oh no! Suddenly he seemed to understand something as he quickly went inside and closed the door behind him. You came to discuss what happened in the kitchen? The awkwardness of this situation is beyond overwhelming. I have to get Alexander out of that tunnel and get out of here. Yeah, KT said, oh no. Yes, I came to talk. Yeah. But I know this is a strange situation. I was shocked myself, but he paced around the room for a bit until he suddenly ended up in front of you. That kiss. Oh no. Oh no. It awoke something unexpected in me. Looking into your eyes, he raised his hand and carefully caressed your cheek. I always thought of you as my cousin. Which is exactly how you should think of me. I don't want you to think of me any other way. That's the only correct way to think about it. So cute, yet so distant. And then you appear before me in the garden. I was at a loss for words. And then I grabbed you and fondled you. You were so beautiful that I couldn't help myself and I had to take you with me. Oh, God. And then in the kitchen, so close, so warm, so confused. Oh, no. If only you'd let me, I could hug you and never ever let you go. His calm and collected face scrunched in a grimace of pain. But they wouldn't understand something like this between us. Oh, God. He put one of his hands on your waist. He leaned in towards your lips. He's taking this way too seriously. Ugh. What should I do when Alexander's still stuck in the wall? What on earth am I supposed to do? I don't want to spend any diamonds on kissing this dude, like... But I have to get Alexander out of that fucking wall. Don't do it. No, Katie said do it. Oh no. Oh no. Should I run a poll? I'm gonna run a poll. You're good to get Alexander out without kissing your cousin. We'll just do it for the lulz. We'll run the poll for the lulz then. Ari said bestie, I promise. It only gets worse. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm adding a poll. Alright, I've started it. If you vote yes, it's exclamation point yes, the command. Or sorry, it's exclamation point vote, and then space exclamation point yes. My apologies. Ari said no. Yeah, my apologies. It's exclamation point vote and then exclamation point yes. Ari said besties, I swear to God. We're just gonna we're gonna give it like a minute. Like we're gonna see. No, oh, Fishty, I think your vote already counted. Your vote already counted, I think. I'm just making sure it's recorded every possible way. I really wanted to wash my own mouth. I was so at one point because of this man. Oh man. You guys are lucky I have diamonds to burn on this one. So far, the poll is at 4 votes, with 3 votes yes and 1 vote no. So we have a 75% yes vote. I'm gonna let it run for like 40 more seconds, and then we're like, I don't want to keep this going on too long. But I am horrified at where the votes are currently at right now. Horrified. There's no part of me. Y'all aren't good with Bont, but are good with close cousins. Eric said I would never take this in my own playthrough, but this is where I come for the madness. Alright, you have 10 more seconds to get your vote in if you're gonna vote. There's some grass outside for you guys to touch. Alright, poll's closed. The answer's yes. I'm upset that I ever ran that poll, but we did it. And we're going to kiss our cousin for 17 diamonds. This is good. Oh, your relation with Dante improved. Everyone be damned. He's handsome, a talented actor, and seems to like me. Why should I deny myself the pleasure of kissing a guy like that? We're not related by blood anyway. Throwing back all concerns, you kissed him back. You were immediately enveloped in the smell of his cologne and felt yourself getting dizzy. I don't like the romantic music playing during this. You half expected him to be rough and daring about it, that he'd pin you against the wall, but Alexander over there screaming, crying, throwing up, shaking, like just having to overhear all of this. He was extremely gentle. His hands were gently and methodically inspecting every inch of your body. They went from your shoulders all the way down to your waist. You shook in protest when he grabbed lower, to which he started calmly whispering something to you. Easy now. Oh, my fairy, easy. Ew. With a single effortless motion, he lifted you up and took a few steps towards the bed. Oh, we're going immediately there? You landed with your back on the soft blanket and immediately pulled him closer. Behind his back, the wall panel partially opened and Alexander's pale face poked through the gap. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh no! Seeing the two of you. Oh my god! Seeing the two of you on the bed, he grimaced and slowly slid the panel back. Oh, your relationship with Alexander has worsened. Oh no, it's fine. But by that point, you didn't care about him at all, as Dante's knee pressed against your crotch. He was kissing you again skillfully and slowly, as if savoring every moment. Inch by inch, he bared your skin while covering it with copious amounts of kisses. Oh my god, suddenly there was knocking on the door, and without waiting for a response, it opened. Mr. Harris, you were needed downstairs too. Ooh, I'm sorry. This is so awkward. I'm sorry for interrupting. Oh god, the fucking gossip of the house knows. Still ruffled red in the face with Dante's embrace, you felt the rising urge to kill Martha. She did this on purpose. She must have heard me from the corridor and decided to check out what was happening in here, that bitch. Martha, what the hell? Who permitted you to come in? I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Harris. Mr. Harrison has arrived, and Mr. Goodman is asking for everybody to gather downstairs. Fishy said Martha is problematic. Yeah, I'm with you. Anthony Harrison, Auntie's lawyer? Yes. We'll be right there. Now get out of here. Martha immediately left the room, although you absolutely didn't like the satisfied expression she had as she left. You straightened out your clothes and sighed. Dante, you go ahead. I am going to get myself in order and join you. He hesitated for a bit, then nodded and left the room. As soon as the door behind him, closed door behind him, Alexander finally stepped out of the tunnel. Oh no. So oh no. So how was it? Kissing your cousin and all? Since you have to ask. Oh, you are a worse kisser? It's none of your business. It was quite enjoyable. Oh no. I would prefer if the bottom option said something like you're a better kisser or something. But two of them, it's kind of rubbing it in his face because apparently by kissing your cousin, it worsens your relationship with him. I don't know. None of these really seem like good options to take. It was quite enjoyable. You are a worse kisser, or it's none of your business. With a contemptuous smile, he looked out into the corridor and left. You're seriously pissing me off. You waited for a couple minutes before going downstairs after him, then slowly started going down. One of the doors leading to the hall closed with a loud click. You raised your head. Miss Harris? Giving in to a sudden urge, you smiled. Call me Agatha, please. Agatha? I prefer to be called Sam. Sam, it's a pleasure. Likewise, I would like to ask you a question if I may. He tilted his head from the side, observing your reaction. You didn't happen to go in Mrs. Harris's bedroom? I mean, after she was taken away? No. His eyes squinted slightly as his eyebrows furrowed. The thing is, the detective and I went into that room about 10 minutes ago. We got this really strong feeling that someone had been in there just before us. What's more curious is that the room was sealed ever since the moment we took away that body. And nobody touched those seals. Well, almost. If you happen to know anything about this, or of any other way to get into that room other than the door, the detective and I would really appreciate that. You felt your heart beating like crazy and you were unable to breathe. After licking your dried lips, you finally mustered the strength to shake your head. Sam looked at you in the eyes for a second and then suddenly beamed and extended his hand to you. Please don't be afraid. I understand how scary it is talking to the police. And the eyes of many were like a scary pack of wolves who know only to bite. But actually, we try to work to save people, not scare them. If you'd like, in the evening, we could have a cup of tea in the garden, and I tell you more. He winked at you, while confidently balancing between calmness and flirting. He's funny. But scary. But funny. Yeah, I like Samuel. He's nice. Yeah, I'll take you up on that offer. A friendship is budding between you and Sam. That's nice. Just not today, and probably not tomorrow. I need some time to mourn. His face immediately got serious and he offered you his hand to get over the last step. I'll be looking forward to our meeting. Now let's head to the living room. The detective is waiting. I mean, it is good we got him to believe that we weren't in there, so that's nice. The entire family, along with some of the servants, were gathered in the living room with a new face among them. Anthony, greetings. It's good to see you, Miss Harris, even under these circumstances. I'm sorry, but Annette wanted her will to be read immediately after her death. She told me this many times, and I can't ignore her will. Yes, of course. We understand, and Annette was a woman of action. She always used to say that decisions have to be made swiftly. Frederick coughed loudly, which caused Charles to sit back down into his chair. So, we have all gathered here for the reading of the last will of Mrs. Annette Silver Harris. Everyone stared at the long envelope he was holding. Good paper? You froze in your position and tightly clenched your fist. By trying to distract yourself from what's happening, you'll only make things worse. Meanwhile, the envelope was opened and a white sheet of paper taken out from within. Uh-oh. Jesus. I, Annette Silver Harris, being of sound mind, do hereby declare that this is my last will and testament. I give all my personal property, including all of my assets, which will be in my possession on the day of my death, to my niece, Miss Agatha Harris. The entire room grew dead silent, so quiet you could hear the gardener scissors clip from somewhere out far outside the windows. Your situation just got considerably more complex, Miss Harris. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good. I mean, good for us for getting the last will and testament, but... Oh. Thank you, Romance Club. Thank you. I do think I'm gonna end this here. It's not really filling up for reading another chapter. a lot of things happen in this stream, probably too much, more than I'm comfortable with. um, and content, right? Got to make that good content everybody wants to watch. For some reason, people wanted to watch the cousin kissing. KT said this book, man, this is too great. I will say it definitely is, like, compare, what have I read? I've read Heaven's Secret, Shadows of Saint 4, I guess Seduced by the Rhythm as well. I guess Hollywood Story too, even though I never read that on stream. I don't even know. I didn't really read my Hollywood Story. It was more so I just kind of aggressively clicked through it. Out of all the books I've played, this is definitely the most, like, action-packed one, especially in the first couple of chapters. And, like, even though it is ridiculous at times, I do feel like the author, the writer, knows that it's a bit ridiculous, which I do appreciate. And the characters are interesting. So I actually am really enjoying this so far. So just to remind everybody, there will be no streams. Our podcast releasing from the 24th to the 31st. So podcast will still be coming out on the 23rd. We'll pick up the next stream will be on November 1st with our Life is Strange True Colors stream. Their next Romance Club stream will be Tuesday, November 2nd. And then from there, the streaming schedule will be as, promised. Also, since we're going to be missing 2 of the Sunday Scaries, we're going to be doing them again the first 2 Sundays of November. And then after that, we can start reading Wolf Bride, which I know everyone is just very excited to see my reaction to that, as am I. So thank you all so much for joining me live. If you're watching the replay, whether it's through on Twitch or YouTube, thank you for watching. If you want to join us live, we do this every Tuesday, except for the 26th of October. We'll pick it back up on November 2nd, 4 p.m. PT, 7 p.m. ET. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope everybody has a good night, and try not to think about what we witnessed today with Dante. If you don't talk about it, I won't either. All right? Have a good night.